Welcome to this video on the MERN Stack. We'll explore the full stack development process covering MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. In this course, you will learn to build full stack applications. Outcomes include understanding front-end, back-end, and database integration, creating REST APIs, designing schemas, and deploying your app. Web development involves creating websites and applications. The front-end manages user interaction. The backend handles logic and APIs, and the database stores data. A full-stack developer connects these layers. The front-end communicates with the backend via HTTP. The front-end manages the UI, while the backend processes business logic and interacts with the database to read or write information. The MERN Stack is a JavaScript-based framework. It uses MongoDB for data, Express.js for the backend, React.js for the interface, and Node.js for the server. Using one language simplifies the stack. Why choose MERN? It offers a single language across the stack, a vast ecosystem, and excellent scalability, making it ideal for building MVPs and complex applications. In the MERN architecture, the request starts in React, travels to an Express API, passes through a Mongoose model, and finally reaches MongoDB. Before you start, ensure your environment is ready. You will need Node.js, VS Code with appropriate extensions, Git for version control, MongoDB Atlas, and an API testing tool like Postman. HTML is the foundation of every web page. We use tags for structure, semantic HTML for accessibility, and forms to collect data, which provides a clean base for React components. CSS turns your structure into a usable interface. Key concepts include selectors, the box model, Flexbox for alignment, and grid for layouts, ensuring your designs are responsive on all devices. JavaScript powers MERN. You will use variables, functions, objects, and arrays to handle data, while conditions and loops allow you to control application flow. Modern JavaScript, or ES6+, introduces essential syntax like arrow functions, destructuring, the spread operator, and modules to make your code cleaner and more maintainable. Handling API and database calls requires asynchronous code. Promises, async and await, and proper error handling with try and catch are crucial for a smooth user experience. Understanding the DOM is essential. While React simplifies direct DOM manipulation through state, knowing how the browser handles events and structure is important for debugging. In React, we build interfaces using reusable components, manage data through state and props, and use the virtual DOM to optimize updates for a fast, single-page application experience. React components are the building blocks of your frontend. Functional components return JSX, while props allow data to flow from parent to child. Keep your components small and reusable to maintain clean code and simplify testing. React hooks allow you to manage state and logic without classes. Use useState for dynamic data, useEffect for side effects like API calls, useContext for data sharing, and custom hooks to keep your logic organized. React Router enables navigation in single-page applications. It maps URLs to specific components, allows for dynamic routing, protects routes for authenticated users, and improves performance by preventing full-page reloads. Effective state management is key. Use local state for simple components, context API for app-wide values, and Redux for complex, shared data. Always fetch server-side state from APIs to keep your data current. For forms and validation, use controlled inputs to keep values in React state. Always validate required fields, show helpful error messages, and disable the submit button during API requests. Remember, always validate data on the backend. Node.js brings JavaScript to the server side, enabling you to build scalable applications. Its event loop efficiently handles multiple requests, while NPM provides access to a massive library of packages for your project. Modules help you organize backend code. You can use core modules like FS or HTTP, install third-party packages from NPM, or create your own custom modules. Modern Node projects typically use ES modules for imports. Express.js is a lightweight framework for building REST APIs. It maps HTTP requests to specific route handlers, keeping your code structured and modular with controllers and services to manage business logic. Middleware in Express is powerful. These functions run before the final route handler, allowing you to log requests, verify authentication with JWT, validate data, and standardize your error responses effectively. Design your REST API using standard HTTP methods. Use GET to read data, POST to create it, PUT or patch to update records, and delete to remove them. Always return appropriate status codes for success or error. A clean folder structure makes your backend easier to maintain. Organize your project by separating models, controllers, routes, middleware, and utilities. This separation of concerns simplifies debugging and future scaling. MongoDB is a flexible document database. It stores information in collections as JSON-like documents, which allows for dynamic structures. Use indexes to keep your data lookups fast and efficient. Performing CRUD operations is fundamental. Whether you are creating, reading, updating, or deleting documents, always ensure your inputs are validated before they reach the database to maintain data integrity. Mongoose acts as an ODM, helping you manage MongoDB data in Node.js. It lets you define schemas for your data, create models, perform validations, and use hooks to prepare data before it is saved. Finally, prioritize security. Hash passwords with bcrypt, use JWT for authentication, protect your secrets with environment variables, and implement CORS and rate limiting to shield your API from unauthorized access and abuse. Authorization defines what a user can perform. Use roles like admin for management, staff for specific modules, and customers for profile access. Always perform these permission checks on the backend, as front-end-only hiding is not secure. Your final MERN project should include user authentication, a protected dashboard, and full CRUD functionality. Connect your React forms to Express endpoints. Use MongoDB for storage, and manage loading and error states for a professional experience. Follow a structured workflow to stay focused. Define your database models and API contract first. Build and test your backend endpoints. Then create the front-end pages, connect them to the API, and commit your work to Git regularly. Git and GitHub are essential for version control. Track your changes with git add and commit. Use branches for new features, and use pull requests to review code. GitHub serves as your secure remote repository for project history. Deployment moves your code to the world. Deploy your front-end to services like Vercel or Netlify, and your back-end to platforms like Render or a VPS. Use PM2 to keep your server running, and Nginx for SSL and reverse proxying. Quality assurance is vital. Use browser dev tools for front-end debugging and Postman for API testing. Always read back-end logs to identify root causes and write unit tests for critical functions to ensure stability before release. For better performance, optimize your application. Send only necessary fields from your API. Use database indexes for faster queries. Lazy load heavy components and images, and cache data to reduce redundant server requests. To prepare for interviews, be ready to explain the request flow from React to MongoDB. Practice writing CRUD APIs, discuss JWT authentication, and show that you can debug errors by analyzing logs and stack traces. Your career grows as your responsibilities evolve. Juniors build individual features, while full-stack developers own complete modules. Senior developers design architecture and security, and team leads guide others. Keep building real projects to level up. To summarize, React builds the interface, Node and Express handle your APIs, and MongoDB stores your data. Security, testing, and deployment bridge the gap to production. Building a full project is the best way to master these skills. Your assignment is to build a full user management app. Implement authentication, a protected dashboard, and CRUD functionality for a module of your choice. Ensure you validate inputs, handle errors, and deploy your final application. Thank you for following along. Remember, mastering the MERN stack is a journey of learning, building, debugging, and deploying. Start your first project today and keep improving it, one module at a time.